that came up. I have not been online lately today, so I haven't gotten seeing any of Ronaldo or Chris's shows. But welcome to you guys. Doing a random live stream here, and gonna talk about the news in various countries right now because there's a lot of news to go around. Well, so just hang on 1 second. Let me get this posted to the Telegram group right quick. 1 second. All right, back live. All right. All right, let's talk about, okay, what's going on in Russia right now. Okay, what's going on in Russia, and I'm not a fan of Vladimir Putin, never have been. I view him as a dictator, and he wants to make Russia like the Soviet Union years ago, and he's a former KGB agent who had worked extensively throughout the Soviet Union and its allies, but one of the places that he worked at the most was East Germany. Well, recently, Alexei Navalny is a critic of the Putin government, and he had been away from Russia because he was getting treated for being attacked by a nerve agent, and the nerve agent had affected him. He had to get hospitalized overseas. But recently, Alexei Navalny returned to Russia. Russia's his homeland, and he's an activist for his homeland. Well, Alexei Navalny is now in prison right now, and there have been plenty of people protesting across Russia. In some cases, 60 degrees Fahrenheit, 60 degrees below 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Well, over 2,100 people have been arrested for protesting the release of Alexei Navalny. And Alexei Navalny is a big critic of Vladimir Putin's administration. And I firmly believe that Alexei Navalny needs to be released. I believe he's a peaceful protester. And outside this live stream, I'm going to make further videos about it. Okay, now let's talk about what's going on in South Africa. Most of my viewers on this live stream are South African or from South Africa. And the South African restaurant industry right now is dead. Okay, the South African restaurant industry, I believe, is about to go under because the Department of Labor had set up a foundation for these restaurants. Now, all restaurant workers are gonna have to contribute 5 rand per month. And people say, well, it's 5 rand, that's not much money, that's less than $1. Yes, but there are still about 3.5 million restaurant workers in South Africa, which is a good amount of revenue towards the restaurant foundation. Also, the restaurant owners have to contribute about 25 or 30 rand per month, and there's over 700 restaurant owners in South Africa. Now, that's not the bad part about this foundation. The bad part is that regardless of how well the workers are performing or how well the restaurant is doing business-wise, that first-year workers have to get a raise in December, and then second-year workers have to get an even bigger raise, regardless of how much revenue the restaurant is bringing in or how much the restaurant workers are making. Okay, that's basically what's transpiring right now. Okay, unfortunately, and that's just a sad, sick, sadistic situation. What's going on in South Africa with the restaurant industry. And then the restaurant industry is made up of a panel of about 5 or 6 people. I mean, this panel that with the Department of Labor. So it's basically just a way to skim money off these restaurants, and it's going to put a lot of these restaurants out of business. And also, you have to give the employee a bonus for having a clean uniform. So if they clean their uniform and take care of the uniform like they're supposed to, they have to give them a bonus regardless of how well the restaurant's doing. Roman Kabanak made a video about it on his stream Morning Shot. So, I mean, it's just a sick situation. I don't think Chris is live streaming at the moment. I think I know Ronaldo just finished his live stream, but it's Saturday night, and you got a lot of you guys probably have better things to do than do this. But I'm going to keep the news. Okay, thoughts on my Vice President, Kamala Harris. Okay, Kamala Harris I don't think, she's going to be a powerful vice president because the Senate is 50 Democrats right now and 50 Republicans. And when that happened, and if a vote's sucked, the vice president gets the deciding vote. And she's going to get the deciding vote, whether if a bill gets passed or not. Well, Kamala Harris, when she became district attorney of San Francisco's crime rate was 5% above the national average. When she left, San Francisco was 65% above the national average. The and most Catholic priests are good and they don't abuse kids and things like that. But the ones that were being accused of it, she basically refused to prosecute a lot of these priests, which was a sad, sick situation. And she's not pro-Catholic by any means because Hobby Lobby, who's a Christian-owned business, didn't want to comply with Obamacare because Obamacare had some rules with birth control contraceptives that they didn't agree with. Well, she wouldn't give the exception to Hobby Lobby on the exception of religious grounds. Okay? So I think Lloyd Austin is a good choice for Secretary of Defense. My first choice, honestly, would have been Vincent Brooks. But Lloyd Austin I believe, is a good choice for Secretary of Defense. But I don't believe that Kamala Harris is a good choice for Vice President. That's what I firmly believe. All right, I'm gonna go about 3 or 4 more minutes and talk about the news of the day a little bit more. Also, all right, talk about the news of the day. Talked about the South African restaurant industry. Talked about the protesters the good news to Twitter. Twitter has eliminated a lot of Antifa accounts because a lot of the Antifa accounts have been endorsing violence. And there have been massive protests in Seattle with Seattle protesters still rioting. Even after their candidate was elected, they're rioting saying they're ungovernable. Well, Twitter's eliminated a lot of Antifa accounts, and I firmly believe that Twitter was late doing this, but they also have done a good job going ahead and doing it. So good job to Twitter for eliminating Antifa accounts. Anyways, that's good news. Also, the Antifa protesters are venturing outside of Seattle, and they now have gone to a small town in Washington, and they're riding outside this town's city hall, which is sick and sadistic. So, anyways, hope everybody's doing well. Take care. God bless them.